Hello everyone, welcome to Chasing Adventures. And as promised on my last video, 5 things I love and 5 things I dislike about my 2022 Subaru Outback Wilderness, I'm going to reveal what I got as a replacement vehicle. And before I reveal it, there were a lot of choices when it came to a 3-row SUV, like the Toyota Grand Highlander, Kia Telluride, Lexus GX, Honda Pilot, Hyundai Palisade, Jeep Grand Cherokee, and the new Chevy Traverse, Mazda CX-90, just to name a few. So it was a very tough decision, but my requirements were it had to be off-road capable, adequate amount of cargo and passenger space, long-term reliability, within our budget around $55,000, and most importantly, safety was my top priority. So out of all the available 3-row SUVs, I picked this is 2025 Honda Pilot Trailsport. And this video is not going to be a full review of the car, but these are some of the specs that was important to me. And please don't mind the dirtiness of the car. I already took her camping. The Honda Pilot Trailsport is powered by naturally aspirated 3.5 liter dual overhead, not VTEC, but VTC direct injection V6 that makes 285 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque, paired with Honda's in-house designed 10-speed automatic transmission that gets 18 city, 23 highway, and 21 combined MPG. Not the best in the segment, but not the worst either. Now the Trailsport has a special off-road tuned suspension with 1-inch factory lift, total of 8.3 inches of ground clearance, steel skid plates for the engine with recovery point, a steel plate for the fuel tank, Class 3 trailer hitch is standard and it can tow up to 5,000 pounds. And the trail hitch also can be used as a recovery point with these opening for the chain hook. And a proper Continental terrain contact all-terrain tires in 265/60 18s. And Honda's renowned Intelligent Variable Torque Management, or IVTM4, all-wheel drive system with 7 different modes to choose from. And it can send 70% of available power to the rear wheels and 100% of that to either side as needed. And the new rear differential is a dual wet clutch system to handle 40% more torque to handle the aggressive trail system. Also features hill descent control and has a matching full-size spare, making this Pilot very off-road capable. Although I would have liked to see a little more ground clearance and more aggressive approach and departure angles. In the interior, it is very spacious with tons of storage space for passengers. To start, the door has 2-tier storage, not only for the front, but also in the rear doors. So it's perfect for families with kids. Pretty deep opening storage space on the passenger side dashboard, decent sized glove box, but it makes up with the large armrest storage compartment, and a wireless phone charging with more storage space. And it only has 9-inch touchscreen infotainment screen, but has physical buttons with rotary knobs for everything you use on a daily basis, like the volume control, climate control for both front and rear, heated seats, heated side mirrors, and heated steering wheel. And you guys know how I feel about cars with one giant infotainment screen and no physical buttons. And honestly, this infotainment screen is good enough size and it won't obstruct your view too much. And trail watch camera system for the front of the SUV and both sides of the wheels with bird's eye view, which is really useful when off-roading or even just parking in parking lots. Wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto is standard. 10-way power seats with 2 power lumbar support for the driver and 4-way power seat for the passenger. Second row seats are manual seats, but it has one-touch fold button on top and bottom of the seat. And there's plenty of legroom and headroom in the second row. And the third row seats are very useful for an average size adult. And the rear passengers also gets their own climate control with physical buttons, USB-C port, and 110 volt AC outlet. And check this out, it has cabin talk PA system, so the people in the third row seats can hear what you're saying. That's pretty cool. And you know you're driving a Trailsport because it has Trailsport, 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 Trailsport badging everywhere. And of course, the orange stitching always adds rugged looks, right? Seems like a trend. And for the cargo space, it has just under 19 cubic feet with third row seats up, an additional 3 cubic feet of storage space underneath. And you could take out the cover and have total of 22 cubic feet of space. And what do you do with the cover? Well, slide the cover right in the storage space, and the cover can be used on either side so that you could load a dirty cargo and not worry about getting the carpet dirty. And when the third row seats are folded, you get just under 49 cubic feet of cargo space, which is more than enough space for me to load all my camping gear. But if you need more space, fold the second row seats and you get total of 87 cubic feet of space. So it has plenty of room to sleep in while camping, and it's also tall enough for me to sit upright even with the large powered panoramic moonroof, which is perfect for camping. For exterior, very bright LED headlights with LED fog lights, power folding side mirrors, programmable power liftgate, front and rear parking sensors, and trail watch camera system with front and rear camera washers. Now that is pretty neat. And a remote starter, and can also roll down the windows with the remote. And it's pretty bold looking with the boxy design. The front end is very flat, and the rear has a slight curvature, but it's fairly flat. But I wish the Trailsport came with the optional bigger fender cladding as a standard option to give it more of that aggressive look and to differentiate from other Pilot trims, like how Subaru did with their Wilderness trim. And has all the safety features like the adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist with traffic jam assist, blind spot monitoring, cross traffic monitoring, driver attention monitoring, which they all work pretty well. But what really surprised me, and one of the reasons why I picked the Pilot over all other SUVs, is that the Honda redesigned this whole side and added ultra high strength steel to protect the passengers from a side impact crash, which normally there isn't much of a crumble zone on the side like in the front or the rear end of the car. But they wanted this SUV to be the safest SUVs out there, so they dedicated a lot of time and effort redesigning this whole side of the SUV. And the result is astonishing. And the IIHS rated the 2025 Honda Pilot as the top safety pick plus. So I feel very confident and safe driving it. And plus, I'm very familiar with Hondas, as my first car was a 1992 Honda Civic EG hatchback. And I worked on a lot of Hondas when I was working at a tuning shop when I was younger. The good old days when things were much simpler. So yeah, the Honda reliability is there too, but it's not like how it used to be when cars were actually made in Japan and it was much simpler and raw. But nowadays with all the tech, it's making things much more complicating and more things that could go wrong with. And not bashing on Toyota, but they have a serious issue on their hands with their new trucks and SUVs. So again, Japanese brand is not like how it used to be. And the truth is, the Pilot also had fair share of issues. I mean, it wasn't a major issues like the Toyota is having right now, but this is their third year, so hopefully they fixed all the bugs with this new generation of Pilots. So those are the reasons why I picked the Honda Pilot Trailsport over the other SUVs. But here's some of the things I don't like. And one of them is the gear selector. I mean, I got used to them now, but it did take some time getting used to. So I wish they would have used more of a traditional shift knob like we are all used to. And as I mentioned earlier, I wish they would have given the Trailsport with more aggressive front and rear end to have more approach and departure angle and more ground clearance. I mean, for ground clearance, we could add aftermarket parts, but nothing you could really do about approach and departure angle unless you cut the bumper in half. And the looks, well, to be honest, and this is purely subjective, but it wasn't very attractive to me. And I almost didn't buy it because of that reason, which is kind of dumb. But you know my philosophy, right? If you don't look back after you park it, you bought the wrong car. But I said was, and that's because now it's actually grown on me. And especially with all the modification that I'm planning to do, I think it'll grow even more. And while the Honda Pilot doesn't excel in one category, but it does everything very well. And it's hard to make a vehicle to do everything well. So I think Honda did a great job with this new generation of Pilot. And plus, they stick with naturally aspirated V6. So this is our new addition to Chasing Adventures, and I can't wait for all the trips and adventures that I'm going to take with the Pilot. And I name all my cars, so I named her Valerie, and it means strong and healthy in Latin. So hopefully she'll stay strong and healthy for a long time. So thank you all for tuning in today. And if you made it this far, please like and subscribe if you're new to the channel and to see my future modification to Valerie. And as always, keep chasing adventures, and I'll see you all on my next video.